Today on the Road Hard Roadhouse, we're going to go over this Colormaxx paint and primer. It's code 5536 Gloss Rich Plum. See how it worked? I've had a radiator support painted with it for the last 3 weeks out in the sun, so let's get this thing started. Road Hard Roadhouse is sponsored by Speedy's Industrial Coatings in Ozark, Missouri. They do media blasting, powder coating, big or small, they do it all. Tell them the Road Hard Roadhouse sent you. This is the Gloss Rich Plum, and as you can tell, it doesn't look anything of the sort close to the cap. And I'll show you a color swatch of the actual internet site for this Rich Plum, this Gloss Rich Plum, and this is a lot lighter. A lot lighter. It's been out here for over 24 hours, and I'm going to go ahead and put a second coat on it, just because it doesn't look anything like the color that it says that it is. It does not look like this is going to darken it up any. See? This does not look like this is going to come out well for this Rich Plum. It's number 5536 Gloss Rich Plum. It may be plum, but it doesn't match the cap. This is 48 hours after the second coat. It's getting a little bit darker, I guess, but it's still not that cap color, is it? Okay, this is after a week. The color has not faded that I can tell. I'm not sure if it's exactly like the plum color. I don't see it, but it is darker than it was before. Okay, here is the wood version. And as you can see, it's gonna take a lot. I doused this thing in the paint and it soaked it right up, which is normal for wood to soak up paint of any sort or varnish or anything like that. So you're gonna take a lot more than, I think I put like 3 coats on this. So it's going to take a lot more than that, FYI. One side note about these Colormaxx paints is that the cap, both of the ones I bought to do these little videos for this weekend, both of them broke when I took them off. The one on the pimento, the satin pimento, it won't even go back on. It's not cracked, but it won't go back on. It won't stay tight on here, you know, like this one does. This one will stay at least, but it broke just getting it off. Whereas the one on the satin pimento, I took it off and it never goes back on. So I have no idea what's going on with these caps. Okay, it's been sitting out here for 3 weeks, and I'm going to tell you right now, this color is not exactly the same. I put 3 coats and the finish isn't great, but that might be my fault for putting it on a little bit thick, and the surface wasn't like really awesome anyway. So there's bare surface right there, and so this wasn't great, so that might be my fault, really. Can't blame it on the paint. But this plum is not the same. It's a pretty color of, I guess, of plum, but it's just not exactly the same as the cap. And when you're at the store, you want it to be the same as the cap. Guaranteed. You don't want to waste this stuff. So it's not exactly the same. Let me see if I can get it a little bit different. Bite there. Not exactly the same. Colormaxx does say that it prevents rust. It says it's fast dry, it prevents rust, and it's for metal, wood, plastic, and more. And as I did it, I cited it on wood for you, and I also did it on metal. It didn't come out exactly the same color as the cap, but it was a pretty decent color. But like I said, if you're in the store and you want this color right here and it doesn't come out this color, there's an issue. Okay, now as far as it says it prevents rust, this is a Colormaxx deal with the paint and primer. I usually use Krylon Fusion on a lot of my projects, and I love it. But this one says that it prevents rust. The Krylon doesn't say that. Now, any paint that you paint on a bare surface is going to prevent rust. Now, this one says it goes above and beyond that. Now, this is not a Pour 15 type paint, which I do a lot of videos on because I love them. On hot rod related, I use Pour 15. This is not what this is, but it probably has something in it, or at least that it's advertising that it's got something in it that's a little bit more than your regular everyday spray paint. So it might be a little bit better for outdoor stuff. We'll see. I'm going to redo this video in about a year. I'm going to show you exactly what that radiator support looks like after it's been sitting out in the elements. Rain, snow, sleet, mud, thrown against the side of a shop. I'm going to show you what it looks like after a year. This was $3.98 at Lowe's. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. As always, if you ride her hard, don't put her away wet. I hope you were able to learn something from this video about this paint. Appreciate it.